I'd like to go ahead, first of all, and introduce our first guest. This is going to be what we would call like our Les Nessman off of WKRP in Cincinnati. This is going to be our man on the streets, and he's going to give us a 411 of what's going on out there, from local activities to just big activities. He's got a lot of theories on things that are happening in the community
and world
and worldwide. The guy's he's very avid as far as taking the beat from the streets. So his name is Tom Dick, and so welcome to the show, Tom.
Thank you.
Yeah, welcome, Tom.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Is that what you want us to call you, as Tom?
It's kind of hard to go with that, guys, because you got to take in consideration in this town, I've been called everything but late for dinner.
Well, give us your full name, Tom.
My full name is Thomas Denver Dick. A lot of people,
Denver?
Yes.
I did not know that.
Yes.
Any relation to John?
No.
Okay. Go ahead. Tell us a little bit about yourself. How long you been in Fort Scott and so on and so forth?
I've been in Fort Scott this time since '86, and because I've been here, I've been dealing with being an outsider, and I got to know a lot of things about this town by being an outsider. I was never supposed to stay here, but I did, and that's because I got family here that's been here since the 1800s, and that's why I'm here.
Cool.
Other than that, my past is my past.
Right. I mean, dive into that a little bit. I know, as we've talked in the past on the streets, you talk about anything from military to what have you, and wrongdoing, good doings, things like that. Is there anything you want to share with the people about that?
Well, I was raised by an independent Baptist deacon back in Indiana that was a town marshal. And I grew up with this all my life because, you know, it was in a small town of 200. And you take into consideration, with that small town, you really get to know each other. And on that note, you got to realize I was also what you refer as a special child because I was a stillborn. And the whole town kept an eye on me, and I was always in the newspaper, our local White River News. Every time I go uptown, hey, Tom Dick come up here and did this, and he's doing great, and blah, blah, blah. So being in the public's eye is nothing new for me. But for you people with Fort Scott, you know me pretty good, and you know who I am. And the ones that don't, I guess you're going to get to know me.
That's right. That's right. You went way back talking about birth. So, tell us what's going on in the streets right now. Anything wild out there? I mean, you talked a little bit before the show about those shock waves or something. What's going on there?
Well, I've been noticing on an altimeter, if you ever get a chance to, and you got a real accurate altimeter, that's another thing I like to find out. I like to go out to the airport and see what they think about this. But we've been going up and down on a stationary point. Anybody that's got any intelligence that knows what a stationary point is where you're staying in one spot, you're not moving, you can touch ground, you can kiss ground, you can eat the dirt, you can do whatever you want. But underneath you, you're lifting up and down. Well, I got this registered where we're going above. I see the highest has been 2,020 feet at the most, and dropped back down, and this is all happening within a matter of minutes when it happens, and we don't know it. And the people that's got back problems are the ones that knows it more because they're the ones that's able to feel it faster than we do.
So this is what's causing a lot of the back problems in Fort Scott,
Yes.
is the altimeter, the ground's moving up and down.
And the breathing problems, because once you get to a certain altitude, you get thin air and you can't breathe, and if you drop too far down, it gets too thick and you can't breathe.
That would put a lot of chiropractors out of business if we solve this. How do we solve that?
You can't solve this. This is something that's going to be kind of weird. Is the codes inspector.
Right. We'll call him Crimp Braze.
Anyway, he's got the ideal that the whole section that we sit on here between these two tectonic plates is all going to be raised up about 2,000, 3,000 feet, and we're going to be stuck on a
Tectonic. What is that?
Those are two areas, like the one out there by California is the seduction zone. Where we're at, we're
Seduction?
It's seduction. It's where it goes in.
Okay.
Where we're at is in updated zones. It splits, just like the North Atlantic Rift. It splits and spreads. That's another thing we got to watch out for here. And real soon you get to see the sea boil.
Are you kidding me?
No.
The sea will be here in Fort Scott, Kansas?
boil.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like, okay,
What's going to happen?
the sea's gonna boil.
Yeah. No ifs, ands, buts, maybes about it. dude.
Like
Like
it's
you
gonna
said,
get
you
hot?
said real soon. Like, what do you mean?
How soon?
We're in the middle of what they call a polar flip, guys. We got less than 48 months until we reach the 40-degree mark, and when we reach the 40-degree mark, it puts the equator straight across Kansas.
Right.
All right, and then we got a polar flip where south is going to be north and north is going to be south. And this is going to maybe make that start boiling because it's going to cause a lot of other problems we're going to have.
Will there still be gravity when this thing flips?
Yes.
Okay.
Now, you want to know something really creepy that's coming up after that in 7
I
years?
think we're already there, but go ahead.
No. In 7 years, we got a planet that's going to come between us and the sun.
Oh no.
Which one?
It's got all kinds of names.
Really?
Yes.
So the sea boiling, what does that have to do with like Yellowstone or anything? Will anything happen in Yellowstone when this happens? Or
Well, if the sea starts boiling and all that gets relieved, nothing's going to happen with Yellowstone. It just calm it down because it relieves the pressure. Just like the in the data zones where it splits, that raises and takes pressure off. You know this being a pilot.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. You know that.
You know, you're finding out that I'm a little bit smarter than I should have been.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
But, you know, his
Jury's still out on that.
I thought you were the pilot.
You know, is going to make me mad if you don't calm down and listen.
right.
If you understand, you know, and being that you're a pilot, how do you adjust for your instruments whenever this is constantly going up and down?
Tell us a little bit about it. How do you adjust? He probably don't want to go into that.
Yeah, but I don't like
So-
talking about myself.
No, but I'm just saying, this is something that's going on. It's happening, and I've got.
Tom's very passionate about this.
Yes,
because
I like it. I'm
sometimes
interested.
People think that it's just way too far out there to be believed.
I'm very interested.
Bro,
Yeah,
it is.
I see it. I see it all. I'm
That's
getting it.
every day.
Yeah.
Every day that thing's
So-
jumping.
I've been recording this for a while.
So have you seen a major change in that time
Absolutely.
you've been doing it?
Changes, we haven't really got to the point where it's got stationary. I'm just trying to find out where we go from where we're supposed to be at 500 feet above sea level according to the almanac, and we're stationary and fluctuating between 853 to 843 feet above sea level. What's going on? Where's that broke? Where's that line of sight broke? Where's that vertical plane broke?
It makes me nervous.
Yeah, let's go back to the. I want to
No,
touch.
this is serious.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
This is serious. If you want to talk about something serious, what's going on, let's talk about that. What's going on?
I want to go back to the planet.
No, why are people not paying attention? Why is this going on? Why are people wrecking as we're going to Pittsburgh because that concrete does this?
Is that what's happening? The Earth.
Yeah,
is
if
moving
you look at the concrete where this is set up where you can actually land on it,
Right.
where there's a vertical plane that's flat, it gets broke. You got people out there hurting themselves. So you got all these ambulances and all these police officers going on these roads all the time. What's going on, guys? You know,
Right.
we think we got a meth problem that's out of hand. We got an environmental problem.
Right. So how do we cure it, Tom?
There's nothing we can do about this. This is what we brought on ourselves.
So the whole global warming thing, is that got anything to do with it?
I don't think it's global warming. I think it's trying to correct itself. You know, everybody calls this the end. You know, I look at them, I said it's a new beginning. We're going to ride this one out, and it's going to be one hell of a ride. Just hold on, and hold on to your knickers. You know?
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Well, I'm not wearing knickers, but I'll hold on and put it on.
It's a figure of speech. Dude.
Right.
But I mean, you know, that's going on. Plus, you got this planet that's supposed to give us 3 days of darkness, and there's so much biblical.
What's
history.
that about, Tom?
It's a planet that comes through here it's supposed to be 10,000 years. They don't really know because we're just starting to open up these ancient societies that they're starting to read up on now and break the codes so they could understand their languages and understand what happened then that happened 10,000 or 20,000 years ago. Now they're starting to know, hey, this is going on. Well, yeah, everything that's written has all been written for us to understand that, hey, we got some shit coming.
Right. Right.
You know, and
That's interesting.
that's what I don't understand. How come they want to make it a religion when it's a history?
Now you've dove into religion.
No, you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's
Some
like,
of it.
It's like reading a history book of our own history.
The bottom line, Tom, is if there's nothing we can do about it, I'm not sure that I want to worry about it.
Well, you don't really worry about it because you're only going to be able to do so much for yourself. You can build up all you want. Are you going to be able to keep it?
Let's go into
idiots
this.
out here that's going to try to take it away from you.
Mm-hmm.
So you got these other people. These what are they? Doomsday
Survivalist. The doomsday people.
Doomsday preppers.
Yeah,
Building
doomsday
compounds
preppers.
and stuff.
You know, what kind of people are they going to be after this? How many people's going to die when all this takes place?
Here's my question, Tom. This planet that's coming through, we don't know what it is. We don't know what name it is, right? It's not like
got
Saturn.
several names.
Right? Like, give me just a couple.
They call it Nero. They call it the Red Dragon. They call it Bitter. They call it Planet X. They call it all kinds. But
Is there life on this planet that's going to
No.
come through? No life?
not from what I understand, because it's supposed to be a it's a planet. It's got more metal and more pull than ours does, because it's supposed to back us up on our elliptical orbit when it comes up underneath on its elliptical orbit.
Is there still going to be gravity?
Yeah, we're always going to be grounded, dude.
So back to the life on planet. Do you think there is extraterrestrial life?
It's a good question.
And that's something that you can't really say it is or it isn't, because it's up to what's going on around us, what you do. Because that's plausible deniability for one reason, the hysterics that come from it, and the religious implications. You got to be careful. So, yeah, there's life out in space.
Do you think there's aliens living here on Earth with us? And side question, are you one of those aliens?
Why don't you look up SCPs?
SCPs.
SCPs. What is that?
And you might find it very interesting what's out there. There's a special unit that's for that, where they contain certain things that get out of
Like
hand.
for the government?
Yeah,
See, I don't know this.
but that's what that is. The SCP is, that's what they call them. They give them a number,
Right.
but they're usually something that's out of the ordinary. It could be a person, it could be an animal, it could be an energy mass, it could be anything.
Right.
Like a China man.
Right. Have you ever been contained by the SCPs? Detained.
That's what they call the individuals or things that they are, not what the unit is.
Yeah, that's the...
Oh. Okay.
Wow,
Okay.
ignorance.
I believe our guest just called me an
Well, you know,
ignorant.
Kevin, you've known him a while. You have to really explain
I don't
the
know,
details.
Tom.
So
Shoot.
you've known him for quite a while, haven't you?
Yeah, I've had this go around a couple of times. It's like, why didn't you pay attention to this?
Now, did you know Kevin when he was younger?
Yeah. You were still in high school, weren't you,
Yeah.
when I come here?
Yep. 86. What was it, 86, Tom?
Yeah.
Yeah, dive into that a little bit.
You guys had a pretty good relationship.
They tortured me.
What? Tortured you? How do you figure that?
This is interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is
Look
interesting.
at what most teenage kids that's in high school do to adults. Especially if they got one they can play around with.
So, what's your age comparison to Kevin?
I'm 58 years old.
That's what I thought. I told him you were probably 5 or 6 years older than me.
5
So-
or 6.
Yeah, that's it. I'm 52.
How the fuck did you get in high school and I come here in 86?
It's all part of that SCP thing.
No, bullshit.
I don't know.
So
it's a
Kevin
conspiracy.
and them, they tortured you.
Well, they bugged me a lot because they were always out there partying and they didn't have nothing else to do. They take one thing away from this town. Kids don't have nothing to maintain themselves with. What? You got stuff like that where there's nothing for a child to go out and do or keep themselves doing, especially teenagers or whatever.
And that leads to meth.
It leads to meth, it leads to other drugs, leads to all kinds of shit.
Mm-hmm.
And, just like the disappearance of a bunch of kids. You got some of them that disappeared down there at 4th Street because they jumped off that whatever, and the rest of them has been...
What? 4th Street?
Yeah,
I haven't heard about... See, this is why you're our man of the
Yeah,
streets,
I've heard
Tom.
nothing about that.
We haven't heard anything about
So
that.
you don't know anything about the pump house. You don't remember a bunch of kids coming up missing and they couldn't figure out where they went to?
How long ago?
This has been going on for years. This is something you got to really check in on missing persons.
Really? Did not know.
This is a good investigation.
This is why we got you, Tom.
Because there's several kids that jumped off that 4th Street Dam with that turbine and got sucked into it.
Oh, you're talking about down at when you say the pump house, you're not talking about the old bar. You're talking about down there on the river.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I'm at the right pump house with you.
Yeah.
There used to be several pump houses in Fort Scott, so
No,
I
we're
got
not
it.
talking about beer joints.
Okay, I thought I was talking about
Simpleton
beer.
again.
But I'm just saying,
I'm just a simpleton.
you know, you got a bunch of kids that come up missing now. Now you got a bunch of kids that's coming up missing because of human trafficking.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we don't know who's the ones that are responsible. It's like I did this for the military paid me. They didn't pay me enough.
What branch were you in? Sidetrack.
Army.
Army.
How long was you in, Tom?
Can't tell you.
Why can't you tell us? Classified,
Places I was, I shouldn't have been.
right?
Interesting.
That is interesting. Is there anything you can go into about that? About like special forces or anything like that?
Well, if anybody paid attention and seen what's going on with the United Nations, I was the field commander of the United Nations. That was my job.
Field commander?
That means I go in countries when I find discrepancies when they took up we're doing, and if I see leaders who are mistreating their people or doing violations against human rights because it's against our whole thing is that you know what the United Nations is about. It's where it's freedom rights of all peoples no matter what.
Right.
You protect the innocent.
Why do you keep looking at the pilot like he's the smartest one out of all of us?
Because
Do you
I
feel
know you're smart mouth.
Okay, go on. The United Nations. I'm sorry, I interjected.
But anyway, you know, my whole thing in the military was I was supposed to go in there, assess what's going on in this country. If that leader is not doing what he's supposed to do, if I don't find myself in a pile of bodies or beaten up or whatever I get done to me at the time, I come back and I deal with the leader a different way. I'm the one that's turned over all those leaders to their people to let their people take care of them when they think they were gods.
Mm.
That's interesting. Did you ever? I know that a lot of it, like you said, is classified. But was like Hitler before your time, or were you in there around that too? Would you have been?
There's a lot of classification around World War II. Trust me.
Right.
Hitler might still be alive. Haven't you heard that story?
Oh yeah,
He's down in South Africa right now.
with Elvis is
I thought
what
it
I've
was
heard.
in South America.
Yeah, South America.
South
And I
America.
believe
South America.
Tom would probably know more than you, if Tom is, in all actuality, his real name at this point. Because now with all this classification, I'm starting to wonder if something hasn't been covered up.
And another thing you got to realize, people, I'm the only one that can call myself a dickhead
True story.
and get by with it, even on this, because this
Well,
is a prejudice
it's
towards
the
me
truth.
because of my last name.
Mhm.
Right.
Like two fatties.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, the name of our podcast is Two Fatties and a Peg Leg.
I know. And
So-
my last name is D-I-C-K.
Right, right.
Now,
So,
two fatties
so
and
you
a
fit
peg
right
leg with
in.
a guest dick.
Yeah,
yeah.
two
So, yeah.
fatties and a pig leg and a dick.
Yeah, this is working out great. So, sounds like a cheap porn, but whatever.
Oh, that's another thing I don't like. I wish I could, I wish I could
You
get
don't
on
like
the
what?
internet and get on the Facebook and all these people, because if I go looking up myself,
No.
Oh, no. Yeah.
Nope.
Never even thought about that.
yeah,
Yeah, that is interesting. Well, your military experience, that intrigues me, and I hope we can,
I know.
dive into that a little more as we go.
but you got to see as a kid what I had to do to survive because I got blindsided so many times here. That's why.
Sure.
That's why I was saying, a lot of the stories that you could actually bring to light, and you know what happened when I was here. Just like, I left him alone while he was in his office, and then when he got out of office, I had, what is his name? Not again.
Go ahead, take it if you need to take it. Tom's got a phone call here real quick.
I'm at a radio station conference right now. What do you want? All right.
Uh-oh. We may have some man on the street stuff going on right now.
Did you do that?
You guys blew. Because it just. Oh, you smell that cloud coming through here?
Is that you?
Woo! No, it's
Yes,
not me.
it
I
is.
would claim it in a New York minute. That is not me. What do we got, Tom? You got some info from the
Pillion.
from people on the street? What's happening?
No, he's.
That's raw eggs. What that is.
That's huge eggs.
Damn.
What is it, Tom?
There's a box full of syringes.
Uh-oh.
Let's get into that. Before we started recording, you were talking a little bit about the meth problem in Fort Scott. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. For the viewers at home, that is, Tom's just got a picture in of a box full of syringes that one of his, we'll just call him reporters, his...
No, I wouldn't call him nothing. It's just trouble.
We'll call him Treble. Capital or small case T? Lowercase. Okay, moving on, Tom. Box full of syringes came in. So let's talk about, I think Pat wanted to hit on the drug problem in Fort Scott and how at one point you kind of had a handle on it.
Well, I come at it from a different direction, which was kind of illegal. I don't want to say anything.
Kind of legal?
Kind of illegal.
Oh, illegal. Okay, I can go with that.
But I found a way to calm them down because they were able to, once you get them at a certain point, I got a deal where I'm able to take their front door away.
Their literal front door?
Yeah, when it. I
Oh.
come by and I smoke a joint with them and it fall over on me.
Oh, okay. Okay,
Takes
I
their
thought
front
you meant
door
like
away.
the front
That
door on their
means they
house.
just did a $50 or $100 shot. It's no good to them no more
Why is that?
because I took it away from them.
Like physically just took it away?
With the weed that I smoke,
Uh-huh.
they can stick whatever they're in their veins and it ain't going to do them no good.
Oh,
Really?
it's
Yeah.
like it fights against it.
reacts it.
Right.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But I also got a few spiritual things going on too. It's like right now, I have an EMF that I give off that's over 7,000.
What's an EMF, first of all?
Electric magnetic frequency.
That's
That's
what
a form of radiation.
kill his plane in the middle there.
No kidding? Is that dangerous for you when you're flying if he
Very.
sends off an EMF?
Very.
Did you know that?
All of your gauges start going like this.
That's not good.
Yeah.
What are you going to do when you... plane crash?
I'm not
We lose
taking
one of
them.
our...
I'm not going up with him.
No, I know you're not going to be in the plane, but you're down here, you said smoking pot, trying to help the junkie and sending off EMF, and his plane gets a bad vibe.
So, but back on track.
This could get crazy.
Back on track. I
That
want
could get
no,
crazy.
I want to get back on track. So,
Guardians?
how does the how does
He
the
just takes pot shots at me constantly.
I like it.
how does the
Bathroom break, go ahead.
oh no
No, you guys
No,
keep rolling, keep
break,
rolling.
break.
That'd be,
I got a couple.
oh, go ahead.
Oh,
Pat.
yeah.
So, the biggest one that he was telling me about out there was he put a ship above Fort Riley, and it is hidden by a cloud because of the electromagnetic field. So nobody can see it, but it brings moisture, vapors to the ship. So if you ever go by Fort Riley, I've never noticed it, but if you go by Fort Riley, he's telling me that there's a permanent cloud above Fort Riley.
Over their residential area.
Right.
Interesting.
Yeah, I want
So,
to
go ahead and dive into that a little bit,
What was
because
the
that
purpose of
intrigues
that?
me.
Yeah.
How far past Deerfield is Fort Riley?
You don't know where Fort Riley's
No.
at.
Don't look at me like I'm crazy. I wasn't in the service. Where's Fort Riley?
Retardism is so bad.
It's the second time. Talk to us.
It's over by Wichita.
Okay.
It's right above Wichita. What, 10, 20 miles?
Oh, yeah. At least that. Maybe a little bit more.
And you put a boat up there?
You could say I put a boat up there. Matter of fact, I could actually build a Spanish galleon or an English galleon or even the Independence that's sailboat. If I get the right plates under it, I could actually make it float above water in the sky.
I'll be darned. Because, and does that have to do with the plates under the ground that causes
no, it's electromagnetics.
electromagnetics? Okay.
Yeah, reverse the magnets.
Right?
clarity thing.
Does that go with that EMP you were
No.
talking about earlier?
Well,
Reverse?
it is an EMP. It's under.
Yeah.
It's one of the worst ones because it'll destroy anything that's computer underneath it if you did fly over it.
Yeah.
So it can be done. You just can't do it because you destroy shit. You'd be going over top of Fort Scott and every one of these houses and the town and everything be dead.
Would this affect gravity?
No.
What is your deal with gravity?
I'm worried about losing gravity and just float. So I want to make sure that I'm not.
Yeah,
Am I okay to think that I'm going to be grounded for the next 20
that's-
years?
I mean, do you have
Can
plans?
I say something and integrate now and get this over with? Number one, look at all the metals that's in our body.
I got a lot in mind.
Again, our body has certain minerals and metals inside of it, regardless, no matter what you put in it or what you don't.
Fort's got lead.
Right.
Anyway, because the magnetic field that's underneath us and because we're magnetized to it, like two magnet poles that go together,
Right.
okay, we're not going to come unglued or unloose. Okay?
What if the magnet in the ground loses its charge?
It's not going to lose.
How does it charge?
According to science, it spins.
Okay. That makes sense.
Inner core spins.
why Fort Riley? Have you ever thought about doing it in Fort Scott, building a ship or anything here? And
No, I was in the military when I did that.
oh, you were stationed in Fort Riley.
For a little while, yes.
And you okay? So tell me about this ship. So you build a ship.
I didn't build the ship. The ship was already done and built. I just borrowed it to bring back because something said I was too incapacitated to fly.
Okay.
That's
All right.
why it's there.
And it's above the
Residential area.
And it's just hanging out there.
Yeah.
with the magnet. Yes.
No, just sitting there in its little spot, and it's going to stay there until I get to it.
I love it.
Then what do you? Okay, so there's going to come a time when you're going to go back to the ship
Yeah.
and do what?
Become a UN commander.
That's. So then you'll be back to work.
Yeah.
Might be a road trip for the podcast.
Yeah.
There's certain things I got to watch out whenever you guys do that.
So as the producer, I am very interested in aliens and all that fun stuff. I don't know if they're true, but I've always kind of researched it. So when you're saying you're piloting a ship, is this a man-made ship that's in the air? It's not from extraterrestrials, UFOs, anything like that. This is
That's a good question.
The United States used reverse technology.
okay.
I didn't use reverse technology. I took the technology and went farther with it. Why use reverse technology not knowing what you're messing with, but actually have something you do know what you're messing with? The best way to do that is, you remember when NASA got their little the Hubble telescope and they were showing it on TV, and then these 4 ships set down in front of these things popping in the air, you know, and then that thing released released one of their weapons on those ships, and it absorbed all that energy, and then released it back on them. Those were from 10 light years away from us, and they got sent back. Those are the ones that were supposed to use those as food and slaves. The ones that are still here, you don't have to worry about them this day in caves.
Caves in Fort Scott.
No.
Throughout the world.
Yeah.
Why
Kevin
does
has,
he always look at you like
He's been mean to me for
I think
years, and
Kevin's
now
been
you're
out of Fort
seeing
Scott
it.
like 4 times in his life. So.
It's like I gotta realize, damn, really?
Welcome to our everybody.
Welcome to our world. Jesus, I'm a simpleton. I'm sorry.
To answer your question, did I do a good job?
Yes, so I listen to Joe Rogan and some other podcasts, and they talk about extraterrestrials, UFOs, and they possibly even come out of the ocean, and they don't. I mean, they're not. They're in caves. They're in the ocean. They're everywhere. So that's what fascinated me about Fort Riley.
But basically what I'm doing is I'm announcing myself here for one reason, okay? Number one, the military's been looking for me. You are one hardness. You need to go out here somewhere.
I'm sorry. I'm a little
Or
gassy.
open the door to get...
Yeah, I ate something that disagreed with me a little bit. Sorry.
Bullshit, it was eggs.
Josh is getting a mouthful.
Wipe your tears, you'll be alright. But anyway, you know, these things are going on. Right now, the public is not ready for all this. You know, it's like me and...
Oh, they're getting it.
Stop. I announced myself because, you know, I've had so many problems here as it is. People's been coming looking for me, and then they've been turned away because they don't know where I'm at. I got papers up here at the sheriff's office, and the sheriff does not want to give to me. which is me to return back to Fort Riley like I was supposed to.
Uh-oh.
And this has been going on for quite a while. So
Why you even come this close then? The sheriff's right across the street.
because he will not. What do you think I said something to him? Are you going over there?
Yeah, just to let the people at home know what was going on was when we actually was pulling up to the shop. We're actually located today in the break area at my shop, and as we come down 20th, my house where I used to live, 324 East 20th. But Tom got a little nervous as we was pulling down the street. He said, "Are we going to the sheriff's office?" So take it from there, Tom.
And like I said, he's got some papers that belong to him. It's, it says classified to certain eyes, and it's supposed to be given to him. It's got ID in it. It's got a few things to identify myself with. It's like if I had a signal reader, I could get a signal from my shoulder, and that's my identity.
Really? And he's got the signal reader?
No, I got it. I don't know what he's got in the papers. I don't know what he's in. I'm figuring it's ID, and orders, or whatever I got to do.
And why will the sheriff not release those to you?
I have no fucking clue.
Huh.
But
That's interesting.
You also got a Harold Coleman that turned around and shit canned all my papers that are sent here too. Look at how many times you kids were stopped by the military or by people with MPs and stuff asking where I was and what I'm doing.
Right.
Yeah, you did say you came back to Fort Scott in '86. Where were you at before that?
Florida.
Florida.
Yeah.
Probably again classified.
No, I was down there with my dad.
Oh, okay.
I stayed down there for 8 months and come up here. I haven't seen this side of my family in ever. Last time I was here, I was 18. I got in trouble, so I was only here for a couple weeks, and that's where I wound up in the military. I came here again just to see the rest of my family, and I didn't know what I was getting myself into.
And then you never left.
Pat,
So I got one more thing.
I just got one thing for you. You're a pilot of airplanes. You ever piloted a ship?
No.
No. Well, hell, he already knew.
Tom already knew because.
talked outside.
Oh, okay.
So,
okay, I was confused.
so-
I was like, "How does Tom know?"
So you and I got motorcycles.
Right.
Tom used to have a motorcycle, and it was a Ninja 2000, 260 miles an hour.
That's off the assembly line.
Are you kidding me?
The 2000s you don't let in this country, that's how fast they grow. How fast they go.
He said the only thing what was the two things that beat you?
Don't
A Raptor.
The Raptor, the Jets when they hit their after boosters.
Oh yeah, those will take you.
Well, I lost several races on that. The only thing I could do is cut them off.
The Jets.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Racing on the runway, that's the only place you're going to get up to 260 mile an hour. Am I correct in saying that?
Well, you got jets are doing speed of sound.
Right.
When you hit their afterburners. I could sit there and I could race the helicopters, except for a couple of them. That's the only thing I could race. If I get out here and try to race anything out here, I'm done gone.
Yeah, there's no competition on the streets, I
We
wouldn't
need to
think,
get
at
him and Marty
260.
together, see if they can race.
Right. That would be that'd be good. Now that you still have the bike.
The bike's still up there. Just I can't.
In the air?
No, I don't know where any of that stuff is right now.
Because you can't get your paperwork.
Right.
Which is, in
We
my
gotta work on
opinion,
getting his paperwork.
yeah, we gotta have some talks.
You got some connections, don't you?
Nah, I mean, I can talk to some people.
Well, I didn't talk to Shelton about this. I said, Shelton, I'm trying to save face as it is,
Right?
and trying to keep a lot of trouble down.
You should,
Because I don't know the circumstances.
you should probably just call Travis now.
I don't have a problem with that if you guys want. I mean, Travis is
I don't
usually
know if he wants to be on the
Yeah, he might
podcast.
wait. Yeah.
Known him for 25 years too.
Yeah, Travis-
yeah, you've known Travis for quite a while.
So
He probably
Pat,
doesn't
Kevin, you
want
guys got anything else for Tom?
I don't. I'm excited to have him back again.
Yeah, no, it's been. Sincerely, we appreciate you coming, Tom. It's been fascinating learning stuff I never knew about and realizing Kevin is a simpleton.
Yeah, well, I think you guys already knew that, right? Tom just pointed it out
A mild form of retardation.
for the third time.
He said mild.
Oh, that's mild. So that's just 2.5. We'll call that one 2.5. Yeah, and I think we're going to have Tom back again.
Did you
I've really
enjoy
enjoyed this.
So you'll come back and
Yeah, just as long as you guys don't make me too nervous.
Oh, I mean, you did great. You really did. I think we're the nervous ones. You're our first guest.
Yeah.
And this was a pretty big deal to us to have our first guest on.
Yeah, and I would say with that being said, what is one thing that you want to, the people in Fort Scott, anything that you want to let them know or just leave them with today?
The only thing, you guys, if you're worried about earthquakes and all this other stuff, the only thing you could do is get you a plumb bob in an open spot in your house, like in a doorway that's off to the side you're not going to mess with. Keep an eye on the plumb bob. If it gets radical, get the hell out of your house. That's the only thing I know to tell you.
And for the people in Fort Scott, plumb bob is a what?
Pendulum. A pendulum.
A pendulum. Like, you know, what they use for making a straight line.
Level?
Well, they hang it on to make...
Like a curtain? I don't know what a plumb bob is.
It isn't in a mild form anymore.
It's really bad now.
You just take his other advice. Grab a hold of your knickers and hang on.
Yeah.
Tom, it has been great having you today as our first guest. You are our man on the streets. We want you to be digging and finding all kinds of subjects, activities, whatever's going on in this town, and bring them back to us at least once a month and report back to us. Is that something you can do?
Yeah. Countrywide.
Countrywide. We don't care.
Worldwide.
Well, I got a lot in my head. All right?
That is true.
So, you know, I don't know what the next thing you guys are going to come up with, what you want to know, what you want to understand. You know, even the people that call in, you don't know what they're going to want to know, what they're scared of, what they're afraid of. It's like I was telling him out there. The thought is this is going to turn into a plateau.
Right. This program?
No.
Oh.
This area.
Like a plateau, like a level playing field? Like everybody will be considered the same?
Big words in Kevin.
Why do you keep using big words? You know I'm simple.
Why didn't you pay attention when you were in school?
I know, you told me to, but I didn't pay attention.
Now you're being faced with it.
I know. I know, it's my own...
All these freaking years.
I know.
I'm not trying to get on to your ass.
I know, but you're right. If I would have paid attention like you told me when I was younger, I wouldn't be having these kind of questions.
And
So,
I also told you history repeats itself.
history repeats itself?
Yeah.
So do you think there will be another President Reagan?
No. What I mean by history repeating itself, there are certain things like us repeating the same mistake over and over and over.
Lincoln will get shot again then. Probably.
He's trying to avoid it.
He's trying to avoid it. And I think we'll end on that note, ladies and gentlemen. We appreciate everybody tuning in once again to Two Fatties and a Peg Leg. It's been a great time, and we'll check you out on the next episode.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.